Hey guys, hey, it's Tuzee from Tuzeemusic, and this is another episode of Tuzee Tuesday, actually episode 5 of Tuzee Tuesday. And today, like we said last week, we are continuing on our journey to self-love. You know, last week we were talking about self-love. It was actually pretty fun last week. So just going back to last week, we did define self-love as having high regard for your own well-being and happiness, as well as taking care of your own needs and not sacrificing it for others to please others, as well as not settling for less than you deserve. So like I was saying, it was a fun last week. We had a lot of fun last week. And we also talked about how self-love sounds very simple and easy, but it is very difficult. Even though it is difficult, we did say that it is the best thing you can do for yourself. Like Whitney summarized it for you. The greatest love of all is learning to love yourself. So last week we left with a challenge. We were supposed to get our journals and get a journal and write 5 things daily about ourselves. So like I promised you guys, I took the challenge as well. I must be honest. Yes, I'm gonna be honest. There's a day that I didn't write. I totally slacked a little bit, but I did catch up. So if you are like me, be honest with yourself. If you slack one day, it's okay. That's fine. Just make it up and catch on. But it's been really fun actually, writing 5 things I love about myself, because actually there's been things that I would have never like consciously just think about that I actually like that, but I have actually been exploring some pretty fun stuff. The other day actually, just to give you like one thing that I wrote actually, was it this morning or yesterday? One of these days I wrote it, and I said I love that I laugh at myself sometimes, and that's something that I wouldn't like think about, but it's been really cool just because now that I can write 5 things that I love of myself, I was able to come up with that. I think it's a pretty cute thing to have, to be able to laugh at yourself. So here you go. But anyways, that was last week, guys. If you haven't watched last week, and like I said, this is episode 5, so that means there's 4 other episodes before this one. If you have not watched them, you are on my channel. That's great. Just go back and catch up. You can watch the other 4. And take the challenge too. If you're not taking the challenge, please take the challenge. Try it out. It's pretty fun. It's been fun with me exploring. But anyways, moving on to our topic for today. I'm super excited. So guys, like I promised, we are going to continue with self-love. So today for week 5, we are discussing staying on the journey to self-love. How can we stay on the journey to self-love? Like we concluded as well last week, that self-love is a journey without a finish line. So it's like we continue on it, and we said the more you learn about it, the better you become with loving yourself. So anyways, just digging into staying on the journey to self-love. Okay, so guys, if it is your first time joining Tuzee Tuesday, I just want to let you know that Tuzee Tuesday is a day that we get to hang out together, you and myself. We also get to have some fun. We inspire each other as well as learn from each other. And while we are learning, we learn to love ourselves as well as learn to love others. You know, we love ourselves enough that we can learn to love others. So that is Tuzee Tuesday. And by the way, thank you for joining. If it's your first time, welcome to Tuzee Tuesday. So we're going to dig in, staying on the journey to self-love. So by the way, I do have my tablet/computer again. This is my notes is on it, so you're going to see me every so often. I'm going to look down because I'm just looking at my notes just to keep track of time, and as well as to stay on point. So for staying on the journey to self-love, I want to discuss like 3 things. Of course, there's a lot of different ways to stay on the journey to self-love, but I want to discuss 3 things with you. So 3 things we're going to be focusing on today. The first one is self-motivation, and our next is self-esteem and self-pride. Yes, today is all about self. That's the whole point. We're talking about self-love, people. So This is all about us today. Yep, if there's someone sitting next to you in the room, talk to them a little bit. This is about me. So we're talking about ourselves today. Okay, so just digging into that. But as you know, as usual, before we go into our topic today, it's Tuesday joke time. Yep. So today's joke is about a wife making breakfast for her husband. So this lady, lovely lady, decided she's going to make some fried eggs for her husband for breakfast. All of a sudden, the husband enters the kitchen and he started telling her how to make the eggs. So first of all, this lady fries her egg in like maybe olive oil. And he comes and says, no, 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 put it in some butter. Like, I want the egg fried in butter. And make sure you put some pepper, put in some salt. And he tells her when to turn the egg and all those things. So basically criticizing how she usually makes her egg. But not just stopping at one sentence. Just continuously nagging her on. Like, you know, what are you doing? Is that how you actually make egg? That's not how you make egg. You got to know. Do you not know how to make egg? Just keep pushing her. So finally, she stopped and she looked at him. And she says, what is your problem? What in the world is your problem? Don't you think I know how to make egg? And then he just looked at her very calmly and he said, I just wanted you to see what it feels like when I'm driving. Oh my goodness. That is just... Oh wow, that is so funny. I totally get it. Backseat drivers. Wow. Anyways, guys, I hope you laughed because it was funny. This is the whole point of Tuesday joke time, is that so that we can share a bit of a laugh. But moving back into our topic for today, staying on the journey to self-love. Let's keep digging. We are talking about self-motivation. I don't know what comes to your mind when you hear me say that word. And I'm pretty sure you probably have an idea when I say self-motivation. What is it? So I'm going to go with dictionary and try to make it as simple as possible. So self-motivation, according to the dictionary, self-motivation is a force that keeps pushing us to go on. Easily summarized, it is a force that keeps pushing us to go on. So when I think of self-motivation, it's also an inner drive, like an inner drive. It's something that is within us that pushes us, like it's an inner drive to achieve, to produce, to get better, to move forward. It's that drive that tells us not to quit. It tells us we can do better, we can be better, you know. So it is a force that pushes us to continue to go, but I also think of it as an inner drive. It's within us. It's a drive to achieve, to be better, to move forward, and not to quit. So, inner drive, self-motivation. We all have some level of self-motivation. Yep. Don't be too hard on yourself thinking, yeah, I ain't got any of those. No, no, no. We all have some level of self-motivation. You think I'm joking? Well, anyways, I'll start with this. When you were born, when you were just a baby has to be able to motivate itself to latch on the breast so that it can eat. That is self-motivation. Well, let's forget about babies. Now you're a grown-up. How did you get up this morning? You self-motivated, or maybe your mom helped your self-motivation this morning. I don't know. But how did you get up? That is self-motivation. You had to motivate yourself to get up this morning. How did you finish high school? Let's bring it back home. How are you getting through work today? So like I said from the beginning, we all have some level of self-motivation. Just that some of us get to use it. Some of us know when to use our self-motivation, and some of us are just better at using our self-motivation. Okay, so just digging into self-motivation. as we said, it is an inner drive that pushes us to achieve. It's a drive that pushes us to do better, to not quit, to keep going, even when the going gets tough. So I just want to share this story with you about, you know, as you guys know, I'm a nurse, a full-time nurse, by the way, and I actually work in a float pool. So what that means, I go to different floors. I'm not just situated in one place. I might be immersed today, I might be in mental health, and I might be in medicine, but I go all over, which is pretty cool, actually, by the way. I actually really like it. But in my work as a nurse, I've been privileged to work in mental health. And I just want to say that I have so much pride. I have so much like high respect for people in mental health. So it's just like, it's pretty interesting, because if you haven't like done something, it's just like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And then once you do it and then you see what it is, you actually appreciate it. It's pretty cool, and that's what I actually really love about floating, because you get to learn different things. Anyways, I'm rumbling around. Let me get to the story, and I want to tell you guys about having inner drive. So in mental health, I have encountered patients that, you know, maybe is there for overdose, maybe jumped something and broke a leg, and just not safe to stay home anymore by themselves. Because maybe they were going to commit suicide, or like, yeah, they're not safe to be at home. So they come to us for help. And, you know, with medication and some therapy and stuff, while being there, they're able to come back a little bit. And usually we have conversations with them. And almost all the time during my conversation with people that have overdosed or maybe been there for suicide, I usually like to ask them, like, why? You know, why did you want to kill yourself? And almost always their response is usually, well, that I thought that was the last result. That's all I had left. I didn't have anything to keep living for. And why that is so sad, I just want to say that I totally, like, I have so much respect for them, because some of these people, they go through some things that, hear some of the stories, you like, wow, no wonder you overdosed. And it's really, really, really sad. But anyways, I say that to say that I'm no psychiatrist or psychologist or whatever. You guys know that already. I'm not an expert, but when someone say that to me, you know, go preparing this note, it just hit me that, you know, most likely, if you can reach that point in your life to decide that, you know, the last result for you, I don't care whether you're 18, like we deal with so many ages, like 10 and up, and so when you've reached that point to say the last result in your life is death, there's absolutely something wrong with your inner drive, you know. And yeah. Sorry, I got dust in my eye. Seriously, I'm getting a little teary, but that's anyways. But when you reach that point to say that, you know, the final destination for you is death, there is definitely something gone really wrong with that inner drive. Because that is the drive that keeps us going. That's the drive, that's the inner drive that makes us don't want to quit. But you know, and so I really want to encourage you, if you know of anyone that's going through, you know, have mental problem, like mental health, you know, it doesn't even have to be mental health, but you know, someone that's struggling with self-motivation, really, I really encourage you, if you have someone that prays, pray for them. Pray for them that, you know, they will find that inner drive again. If you don't pray and you know this person, you know, give them a shout out. Check on them, you know, help them build that inner self, inner drive again. Because once that drive is damaged, my goodness, like it's really sad, but it's so true. There's no urge to keep on going. And you know, so I really want to encourage you, please, if you know of anyone anyone, like any friend, any family, frenemies, you know, like talk to them about it. Like, and if you're someone that have a strong inner drive, you can just get up and go. That's amazing. But encourage people around you. There's people around you that are struggling with it, and I'm not joking. Like, this is real life stories. Like, I've heard from clients, patients upon patients, and clients upon clients and friends that struggle with that. So yeah, pray for them if you pray, and if you not want that praise, please help me encourage them. And so moving on, guys, because let's move on to more like topic. But remember that in your self-motivation walk. So we're gonna keep going on. So yeah, encourage them, and at the same time encouraging them, I also want you to, you know, if you are watching Tuzee Tuesdays right now and you're struggling with mental health, I just want to talk to you personally. You know, I can't say I understand what you're going through, but I'm with you, and I totally respect that you are willing to talk to somebody about it, or that you're actually watching Tuzee Tuesdays today. That's amazing. And I just want to encourage you, if you have not seek help, you know, and you've reached a point where you're thinking that's it, seek help. Seek help, because obviously there's something broken inside and it has to be repaired, and when it's broken so much, it takes a little while to get it, you know, fixed. And we're going to be digging into that. But just so you know, I totally have high respect for you guys. Anyways, we're going to move on, and thank you for watching. But we're going to keep moving on. So another thing with self-motivation is I just want to say you have to learn to talk to yourself. Yeah, that sounds a little weird, but learn to talk to yourself. So talk to yourself. You know, I'm not saying go to like Eden Center or the mall, but that's very crowded, stand in the middle of the one style, like yelling at yourself. Yeah, I totally be passing and say, oh, it's gone crazy. Like, I don't know. But talk to yourself. You know, let me just share a little bit about myself. You know, when I came to Canada, as I already told you guys years ago, I'm from Liberia, West Africa, and got married, came here with my husband. Very nice guy, but obviously he know Jesus, I should tell you. But when I came to Canada, I remember the first couple years being really difficult. First of all, it is a different environment. I am a daddy's girl. I'm not ashamed to say that. Love my mom very much, but she knows I am a daddy's girl. And my very first time traveling away to like a wholly different world. It's like almost at least 15 hours flight here in Canada. So it's like a whole different world. And I had a lot of like terrible, like those 2 years were really terrible. There's still terrible times. Just because, first of all, it's a different environment. Secondly, I am the fourth of 7 kids. Moved here to Canada. I have a house. And when my husband goes to work, I'm the only one in my house. And you know how it goes here. Like in Africa, you can just literally wake up and go to someone's house. Here, you have to phone them, make sure they're okay with you coming over. And it was just all this stuff, just too much. So I was like really homesick for some times, and it was really hard. And then as time went by, I got a little more acquainted with Canada. I got going on, and then I got pregnant for my first daughter, and 3 months of her being born, I decided I want to go back. I wanted to do nursing. That's when I started my nursing. So I'm not joking when I say learn to talk to yourself. You probably have seen me talking to myself if you know me very well, but that's something I do. I talk to myself, because you know what? There's nothing, I know parents say, oh my goodness, you feel awful and this. Well, even at 3 months we were at home. By the way, I did my nursing part-time, so I went to school once a week, but still, I had to talk to myself to tell myself it was okay to go and do nursing, because it's something that I wanted to do. I wasn't neglecting my child going to school, and it was hard. It was difficult, but I remember talking to myself and telling myself, it's okay. It's okay. it's hard right now, but it's okay. Your baby's gonna be happy that you did it, and honestly, she's happy on my nerves right now. And but no, talking to yourself is great. You know, there's also scenarios. You know, sometimes you come into a room. You know, you have friends and you think they're your best friends, and then all of a sudden you come and they're talking about you or something like that. You know, you just come in the midst of like an unhappy kind of a situation. Can't believe this, but you know, instead of actually, like, sometimes you gotta just go in there and stop the whole chatty and just stop it. But it's just sometimes when your self-motivation is not strong enough, it's okay. Leave. Take that hurt with you, leave, go for a long walk, and self-motivate. And guys, I'm going to be explaining what self-motivation is, like the type of stuff you to tell yourself. But when I say self-motivate, it's not like, oh my, they're terrible, I'm a terrible person. No, you have to self-motivate yourself. Like, tell yourself things that go on to make you don't want to quit. Tell yourself things that go on to make you want to achieve. Tell yourself things that want to make you to keep going. Tell yourself things that are going to make you love yourself, you know. And so that kind of stuff, when I say leave that bad situation and go refill, it means leave, go for a walk and refill yourself. Build that confidence, build your self-motivation, you know, and then you can approach them when you're ready. But anyways, so learn to talk to yourself is very important. Talk to yourself positively too. Say positive things. Boy, so there's so many negative things already in this world. You don't need to add more. Say positive things to yourself. So guys, anyways, we gonna have a quick commercial break. A very, very quick commercial break because I have something very super exciting. If I promise it won't be very long. We're gonna continue with our topic. It's this very, very amazing topic and we want to go into it, but I have a commercial break that I have to tell you. So guys, as you know, there's been some posts on my social media and website. There's been emails going out. My second single is coming out. I have a release date and it's going to be out on the 6th of this month, so that's in a few days. It's coming out and the song is called Christmas Heart. What I love about this song is amazing. So I don't know if you heard Shine, but it's the same. I wrote the song and I'm singing in this song. It's a great song, but what I love about the song, I get to sing with two of my favorite people. And yeah, you're probably thinking Justin Bieber or Beyonce or someone, or like, no. My girls are singing with me on this track. It's actually absolutely amazing. So this was their first time in the studio and they did amazing. Well, I'll let you listen to it, but I want to encourage you though, guys, because it's coming out on the 6th, so please share the word with people. I'm going to be posting on my social media, and it's an amazing song. It's a great song. I love it, and I'm sure you're going to love it too. But anyways, if you're not a Tuzeemusic believer, that is, you're not on my email list, head on to Tuzee.com. Not right now. After the show, I told you we're going to continue talking about staying on self-love journey. But head on to Tuzee.com and become a Tuzeemusic believer. You can hear more about my song, but I'm super excited. Anyways, guys, that was a very short commercial break. I hope it wasn't too long. Anyways, moving on to self-motivation. So yes, learn to talk to yourself positively. Talk to yourself. Some of us, our inner drive can be broken by different things. You know, sometimes it's broken by people we love. Sometimes it's broken by our friends. It's broken by our family. Sometimes it's just broken by different things. So rebuilding that inner drive is very important because it is actually one key factor. You know, self-motivation is a key factor of actually staying on a journey to loving yourself, as well as to our very existence. You know, to move on, you got to be able to like self-motivate. You have to tell yourself constantly that drive has to be there to keep going. Okay, so these are a few steps on how to build self-motivation or your internal drive. So like I said before, learn to talk to yourself and positively. Don't speak negativity to yourself. There's too much negativity in this world already. Speak positive to yourself. And self-reflect. You know, self-reflection is great. But don't be too hard on yourself. You know, it is not a lie when they say we are our worst critic. We definitely are. And I stand right there because I know I can be my worst critic. But self-reflect and don't be too hard on yourself. Also, hang out with people that will build you up. Find good company. You know, of course, eventually we want to share our light to people that don't have it, but you need to be strong, because even you need to be strong to be able to do that. Because if you don't have a strong, you know, self-motivation, and then you hang out with people that tears it down all the time, where are you going? You're not going to go any, you're not going higher. So you want to hang out with people, you know, that see good in you, that talk about those great things, like those great features you have. Also, try to look for the good in things. Always try to look for good in things. You know, I always tell myself that if I'm still breathing, there's always hope. And it's true. If you wake up this morning, you still are breathing, I don't care how many failures or whatever you've done, there is still hope. You must be here for a reason. There is a purpose why you are still here. You're better than those people that didn't wake up yesterday. No, you're not. I'm not. But we do have a purpose here, and there's still hope. And last but not least, keep learning. Don't ever pass up the opportunity to learn how to self-motivate. It's a great skill. And guys, like we've been covering, self-motivation is so very important in staying on the journey to self-love. By the way, I must say, it was my plan today to cover also self-esteem and self-pride. However, time has caught up with us, so I promise next week we will be digging into, we will continue on the journey to self-love, and we will be talking about self-esteem and self-pride. It is also very great skills to have while staying on the journey to self-love. And once again, guys, we have been digging into self-motivation. Like I said, I'm very sorry we stayed too long on self-motivation, but there was a lot of great things that we had to talk about. And next week, though, we will continue, and we will be talking about self-esteem, like I said, and self-pride. So thank you so much for watching again. This has been Tuzee Tuesday, and I am Tuzee from Tuzeemusic. And guys, remember, be good to yourself. Like I said, there's so much negativity in this world already. Don't put yourself down. Don't be one of those that say negative things about yourself. Self-motivate. Build yourself up. Every little chance you got, do that for yourself. And join me again next week. We will be digging and continuing on our journey to self-love. Once again, guys, thanks so much for all of your support. And don't forget, my second single is coming out on the 6th of November. Please help me spread the news. And thank you so much. Can't wait to be back next week. Mwah!